Hi, now we're going to look at the tools used in recombinant DNA. There are 5 tools that are being used in recombinant DNA. The first one is the target DNA, the second one is the restriction enzyme, the third one is the DNA cloning vector, the fourth one is the host cell, and lastly is the modifying enzyme. For each of these tools, what you need to know is about its definition, as well as its function in the production of recombinant DNA. Okay, so now we're going to look at the first tools, which is the target DNA. Target DNA is the desired gene or the gene of interest that will be inserted into the host cell to produce the desired protein. It means that this DNA is the DNA that we want to clone, that we want to produce in a bundle, in a bundle. Okay, maksudnya target DNA ini adalah DNA yang kita nak clone tadi. Contohnya, kita nak menghasilkan insulin untuk pesakit diabetes. So, kita akan ambil target gene tersebut daripada pancreas cell. Inside the pancreas cell, there is nucleus. So, inside the nucleus, there is the DNA. But only a short sequence of the DNA is the gene that encoded for the insulin. So, this part of the DNA inside the pancreas we call as the target DNA or our gene of interest. Okay, that is the first tools. The second tools is the restriction enzyme. So another name for the restriction enzyme is restriction endonuclease. Ini adalah kita punya gunting. So in restriction enzyme, there is 3 points that you need to remember for the definition. The first one, it is the enzyme that recognize the specific base sequence on the DNA. So this is the first one. After it recognize the specific sequence, it will cut at the specific site. The specific site is called the restriction site. The third one is after it cut, it will produce the DNA fragment. So this restriction enzyme is isolated from bacteria. Maksudnya enzim ini berasal daripada bakteria. If the enzyme is inside the bacteria, kalau enzim tu dalam bakteria, fungsi enzim tersebut adalah to protect the bacteria. It will protect the bacteria from the virus. Kalau dia dalam bakteria, kalau dia dah dikeluarkan daripada bakteria tersebut, dia akan berfungsi sebagai restriction enzyme, where it will recognize and cut at particular base sequence called restriction site. So, after it cut, selepas dia cut, dia akan hasilkan hasil dia sama ada blunt end ataupun sticky end. Okay, so there are 2 types of restriction enzyme that you need to know. The first one is called as EcoR1. The second one is SMA1. Okay, so for restriction enzyme, you need to remember the base sequence that it's recognized. Dia recognize kalau untuk EcoR1, dia recognize 5' GAA TTC 3'. Okay, GAA TTC. Kalau untuk SMA1, dia recognize 5' CCC GGG. So these restriction enzyme are named based on the organism from which it isolated. And this restriction enzyme also has one characteristic called palindrome. Okay, what is palindrome adalah the base sequence on the DNA, the base sequence on the DNA, okay, are read the same. Okay, dia dibaca dalam bacaan yang sama in opposite direction, di dalam direction yang berbeza. Okay, as example, as we can see, daripada kiri ke kanan, kita dapat bacaan GAA TTC. Daripada kanan ke kiri pun kita dapat bacaan yang sama, GAATTC. The same thing goes for small one. Daripada kiri ke kanan kita dapat CCC, GGG. Daripada kanan ke kiri pun kita dapat CCC, GGG. Itu sifat yang kita panggil sebagai palindrome. Okay, so selepas enzim ni recognize this sequence, dia akan potong dekat satu site yang kita panggil sebagai restriction site. Okay, kalau untuk EcoR1, EcoR1 dia akan recognize GAATTC. Okay, selepas dia recognize, dia akan cut. Dia akan cut between guanine and adenine from up and below. Then dia akan cut through dekat tengah-tengah. Okay, dia recognize the specific base sequence. Specific base sequence itu adalah GAATTC. Then dia akan cut between guanine and adenine and dia akan cut di tengah-tengah. Okay, this type of cutting kita panggil sebagai staggered cut ataupun zigzag lah. Okay, after dia hasilkan cut tersebut, dia akan menghasilkan DNA fragment. DNA fragment tersebut akan berbentuk 5' G and 3' C, T, T, A, A. So, ini one fragment. And the other fragment is A, A, T, T, C, 5' and G. It's not 5', sini 3'. Okay, kalau tengok sequence tu salah sedikit. So, sini 5'. Okay, so bentuk fragment yang terhasil ini looks like a bit like zigzag. So, kita akan menghasilkan sticky end nama dia. Kalau untuk small one, okay, small one, dia akan recognize sequence GGGCCC. So, the restriction site is between guanine and cytosine. So, dia akan potong di tengah-tengah macam tu. So, this type of cutting kita panggil dia sebagai straight cut. Okay, after dia cut, kita akan dapat two fragment juga, iaitu 3' GGG, 5' CCC on one side. And on the other side, kita dapat CCC 5', GGG 3'. Okay, on one side. This is we call hasil dia kita panggil sebagai blunt end. So, that is the restriction enzyme. The third tool is the DNA cloning vector. So, DNA cloning vector is a DNA molecule. Uniknya DNA molecule ini, it can carry the foreign DNA, which is our target DNA, into the host cell and replicate there. So, point dia adalah number one, DNA cloning vector ini adalah DNA that can carry foreign DNA into the host cell and replicate there. So, example of the DNA cloning vector adalah plasmid. Plasmid ni kita akan jumpa di dalam bakteria. Sebagai contoh, bakteria dia adalah E. coli, bakteria E. coli. Kita akan keluarkan plasmid tersebut. Okay, so there are 4 types of DNA cloning vector. The first one is plasmid. The second one is bacteriophage. The third one is cosmid, and the fourth one is artificial chromosome. But in your syllabus, you must focus about the plasmid. Okay, so plasmid, it has 3 example of its characteristic. Okay, kenapa dia ada karakteristik ini? Number one, the characteristic it use is able to accept the foreign DNA in multiple cloning site, able to replicate independently of its host chromosome, and it possess selectable marker. Okay, why this is the characteristic of the cloning vector is, as example, this is our plasmid. Okay, pada plasmid kita ada 3 tempat yang sangat penting untuk awak ingat. The first one is this side, kita panggil dia sebagai origin of replication. So, origin of replication ni adalah tempat permulaan untuk plasmid ini duplicate diri dia sendiri, copy diri dia sendiri. So that's why lah dia mempunyai ciri-ciri dia boleh replicate independently tanpa arahan daripada nukleus. Yang kedua adalah our plasmid has genes, dia ada sedikit genes. So genes yang penting yang awak kena tahu adalah dia ada satu gene yang dikenali sebagai LAGZ gene. Okay, LAGZ gene. Okay, LAGZ gene ni adalah gene yang penting sebab pada gene tersebut ada satu bahagian yang kita panggil sebagai multiple cloning site. Okay, so disebabkan dia ada multiple cloning site inilah yang membolehkan kita punya foreign DNA to be inserted there. Maksudnya kita punya target DNA nanti akan dimasukkan di multiple cloning site ini. Okay, itu adalah LAGZ gene. And lastly, at our plasmid we have a region of the gene yang mempunyai sifat antibiotic resistant. So maksudnya kalau kita letakkan antibiotik di kawasan plasmid ini, maka plasmid ini akan boleh survive. Okay, itu adalah karakteristik of the cloning vector. So you must remember on the cloning vector, dia adalah sejenis DNA yang boleh menerima foreign DNA dia dekat multiple cloning site. It able to replicate independently due to the presence of origin of replication. It has selectable marker sebab dia ada gene for antibiotic resistant.